to another episode of Unsolicited Role Models. Role models you may not want, but you may just need. I'm your boy, Big Dave.
Your boy, Ali.
And we got two special guests, Exile Cigars, Alex, and AJ. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening? I'm definitely the role model you don't want.
Yeah, definitely not.
But they may need you, because you're an entrepreneur.
They definitely need us.
There you go. So, let's start with the basics. How'd you guys get into cigars?
He was the original one to get in. He was smoking for a very long time.
Yeah, he stole cigars from me. That's how he got it.
Yeah. I was the very odd case of the kid at 13 years old going into his father's humidor. I started smoking. My first cigar was a Hoyda Nicaragua Grain Council.
Were you proud, Alex?
He didn't know.
No, I didn't know, but...
Until I was 18, he's like, let's smoke a cigar, and I knew how to cut
today I can tell you,
I'm
proud of this kid. He's all right. So I'm gonna say it for the first time in public. His palate might be even better than mine. Not much, but it might be even better than mine.
It's on camera. You can't deny it now.
No, I never did deny it, but I'm just saying.
You denied it
Might be is the way I get away from that. Might be better than mine.
At the age of 13, I mean, you're learning a lot.
Yeah, well,
as soon as I got out of high school, I started at JR's. And it turned to Casa de Monte Cristo. I was working there. Pretty much as soon as I started working there, I was like to him, let's open a cigar lounge. And it took about 8 years of bothering him until he finally, I need to shut this kid up. And we got into the business. It wasn't a cigar lounge, cigar brand instead, but
so
8 years of constant bothering him.
You still plan on doing your own cigar lounge down the road?
Yeah. Yeah, that's going to come eventually.
It's coming.
It's
coming. So the
things are in the works.
Yeah, the obvious problem is, it takes a lot of money to do it right.
Yep.
Because I don't want to do things...
You don't want to half-ass it.
Exactly right.
Ever.
Exactly right. So, I talked to somebody that's really big in the business, and I said, you know what, Dan, I got $500,000, and, I want to do something. He said, oh, great. Where are you getting the other $500,000 from?
Yep.
And so that kind of opened up my eyes to, if you're really looking to do something that's going to be really nice, you're looking at $1 million. So if there's any investors out there that are looking to invest, come talk to me,
Do you have a location you have in mind, like a state or...
Oh, definitely. We're looking to do Cape Coral, Florida.
Okay.
In probably the northwest section, which is the new and up-and-coming section in Cape Coral.
Mm-hmm.
It's a matter of funding, finding a location, and if you can get the two to get together, it'll happen sooner rather than later.
I'll be down there the next day.
Yeah, but
I'll turn that 17-hour drive into 15, 16. Yeah, no problem. Yep.
Yeah. So it's mainly funding.
Do they have cigar lounges in that area?
So they have the only competition is there's one cigar. I'm not going to mention it. There's one cigar lounge in Cape Coral that's worth even talking about. And they are a bar where you can enjoy a cigar.
Okay.
And I get there's a lot of cigar lounges in Florida, and the majority of them are bars where you can enjoy a cigar. And I get totally, and business-wise, it makes sense to make alcohol your, priority, because you make so much more money with alcohol, but it's not me.
Yeah.
I want a cigar lounge where you can enjoy a drink, as opposed to a bar where you can enjoy a cigar.
Yep.
I just came back from Atlanta, and I stopped into one of their cigar lounges, and the humidor is small. The selection was very little.
Exactly.
I mean, well, The humidor size was big, but the selection was very small.
Sure.
But if you look into the lounge, like the setting, the area, they cater to like Monday Night Football, Thursday Night Football, Sunday Night Football, events.
Sure.
And it's like a first floor, second floor type of area. So I'm like, is this really
Listen,
a lounge?
you could make a huge humidor look full by using boxes, and you put them all in there. And one of the things that we encountered at Main Street Cigars is if you want to have a selection, you can't use boxes because you would need a huge humidor, bigger than the size of this room, to be able to get 600 facings in. So how do you do that? You use trays, which eliminates the box, which I hate, by the way.
You remember whose idea that was in the first place, right?
Whatever.
I just gotta stick one in there once in a while.
You lose the art. The boxes are beautiful. You know, the majority of boxes, the artwork is just, it's a showcase of the cigar contained in that box. And I hate to lose that, but if I want to have 600 facings, I need to go to trays. And you go to trays, you it's a give and take.
Yeah.
You lose that art and that presentation, but you gain
3 times the
variety. And that's what people look for. They want that variety. Small humidor, you don't get that variety. That's why their majority of places are bars where you can enjoy a cigar, as opposed to cigar lounge where you can enjoy a drink. The thing that comes to mind is smoking on the east coast of Florida. You know, Abe, great guy, his shops in like Del Rey and you know, that area there, it's like, it's a small bar, but it's a huge humidor.
Yep.
And it's a fantastic variety. That's what we envision our lounge to be, something like that.
It's not bad. I mean, I've always enjoyed just going in there and everybody bringing their own selection anyway. You know, somebody bringing whiskey. I'm a tequila guy. I know a lot of guys are like tequila with a cigar, but
no, they're tequilas you know, there's a big resurgence now with tequilas and mezcals and you know.
I'm gonna do my thing now, and you know, I get a little rowdy at times. People that say that, I apologize if you're any of those people. We can educate you, but you're fucking stupid at the moment. Listen, there's a pairing of a cigar for anything you're eating, drinking. Doesn't matter if it's coffee, doesn't matter if it's beer. You're drinking IPAs, a cigar for that. It's all about getting the right taste. Now, if you're a guy that only smokes Padrones and you try and drink a tequila with it, it's not going to work out. It's not going to taste like that.
You know what? I'll agree to disagree, because if you get the right añejo tequila,
yeah, an añejo might go well.
It will go well with
the problem is a lot of these people say that they're tequila drinkers and they're drinking the wrong tequilas.
Yes.
Sure.
Hold on. What's the worst tequila you've ever had?
Don Julio.
Really?
Yes.
Hold on. You have to try Kirkland brand tequila.
That's the worst?
Oh, I've tried
God.
it. Yes, it's bad.
It is god awful. Listen.
Jose Cuervo, baby.
It is the only tequila
College
I've ever
special.
had in my life that I did not hit a second bottle and I had a hangover the next day. I had 6 shots. That was it. 6 shots. I didn't even get drunk. I woke up the next morning like someone whacked me over the head with a hammer.
I think
It's
I bought
terrible.
that.
What
for
was
the
that?
wedding.
Kirkland brand.
Kirkland?
No?
Man, I don't drink tequila. Tequila don't like me.
I'm a tequila drinker. And I'll never try that now. Going forward.
No,
Don't
you
do
should. You should. It's
No,
like,
don't do it.
bro, this tastes terrible. Come on.
So, your first cigar, it was the skinny dip or the toe dip?
The toe dip.
The toe dip.
Yep.
How did that come about?
We kind of just stumbled upon that one, really.
Yeah, so it was a thing of like, you know, we want to dip our toe in the water of the cigar industry. So what do we call it? And it just so happened that we came across that portrait of the guy with the little rubber ducky and the coronavirus thing, which was all very current to what was happening.
Yeah.
And we said, that's got to be our fucking mascot. That's it. That's the guy. And we came across these really, really good cigars. So we said, well, let's call it the toe dip. We're going to dip our toe in the pool of the cigar industry. And that's how it came about.
So you transitioned. So you had the toe dip was your first, and you went on. You had the skinny dip.
Well, no, after that was the chunky dunk.
Oh yeah, the chunky dunk. Then you had the skinny dip.
Skinny dip.
But they were all limited releases.
So
Correct.
all of those limited releases in those packs, they're like the Coldwell Lost and Found project on a smaller scale.
Okay.
So we didn't blend those. We were looking for the needle in the haystack of cigars that were left behind by people. You know, they didn't pay for the batch. It was a test blend. It was overruns. It was seconds. You know, we had to dig through all the shit. And we smoked quite a few shit
a lot.
cigars.
Yeah.
But every now and then you stumble upon one. Okay, there's 300 of these cigars. That's it. And this thing's fucking incredible. Like, what the fuck do we do with it? It's a limited edition pack. And that all those cigars were that. You know,
Okay.
that's all the cigars there is existing on the earth. They're done. For whatever reason, they're gone.
So now you guys are with Adalia.
Yep.
And that's your main line.
So that's our core line, our first core line, because there's a second one coming.
Mm-hmm.
So you guys went out and had this done yourself.
Yep.
You
Yes.
picked what? Wrapper, binder, everything.
Pillars, all that, right?
Yep.
Mm.
So where did you go to figure this out? To be like, let me get this wrap? Because like you can't just go to ShopRite and buy tobacco, the leaves and everything.
No. So you got to be lucky to have a guy like Cesar Reyes,
Mm-hmm.
who was just starting out his factory, La Unión, in the DR. And I find out about it, and I said, so listen, I'm looking to put out a cigar, and, you know, we've dealt before, and, you know, this is what I'm looking for. So he says, all right, let me see what we can do. Gets a couple of test blends together, and this is the end result of, you know, that relationship that we had. And I said, well, this is perfect. This is what I want. So let's do it. And he was like, well, what size? I said, size. I said, no. We're doing this the right way. He says, sizes. We're going to do a Robusto, a Toro, and a Gorda. And he was like, you really want to do a 60 ring? I said, absolutely.
It's my favorite.
I don't like 60 rings.
Bro,
He doesn't like 60 rings.
I'm a Lancero guy.
The guy that makes the
Coronas,
cigar doesn't like
Lanceros.
60 rings.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Until you try it with the La Dalia blend. And then you're like, wow, okay, I can understand.
Yeah. So you get your cigar. Obviously, you guys are already you work at Main Street, so it's kind of a easy transition to get these guys to, you know, test it out.
Mm-hmm.
What's your next process to go into other stores, other lounges, other?
Well, I was the one to start that process. I was slinging them on the road before we had a rep. Which, oh my god, fuck it. It's terrible. It's terrible. Oh my god. You can walk in with the best cigar ever made on the planet Earth, right? And guys will look at you and they won't even give you the time of day.
Yeah.
There's certain guys you would think, okay, these guys are going to support, you know. We'll make each other money. Everybody will be happy. And then they won't even look at you. What the hell's going on? So eventually we brought on a rep. And we're cooking with grease now. You know, it's going.
So was it like, you'd say it was slow at first?
With the La Dalia? Not really. All the limited packs at first were definitely slower. But they definitely helped us to build a little cult following. once La Dahlia drops and everyone started smoking that, it was like we were putting fucking crack in the cigars.
I would say you need one or two guys in a room to like it for
Yes.
them to tell the next person.
Yep.
Because then it just becomes a domino effect.
We make the best cigar we can make, and we let the people decide. You know, it's not like we're gonna force it onto people like certain brands with all kinds of advertising, craziness. You know,
Yeah.
bullshit stories.
It's
we'll say
a-
exactly
it's a-
what we're doing. We
It's a
won't-
tough road to hoe. You know, here's this little brand that nobody's ever heard of. The guy comes in and says, here, try our cigars and let me know if you want to carry it, and when they actually give it a shot and they smoke it and they say, wow, holy shit, this is a really good cigar.
Mhm.
All right, I'll try, give me a box of each. And then the proof in the pudding is when in like 2 or 3 weeks, they call you back and say, hey, I need more of this and more of that. And that's when you know you got a winner.
Yeah, certain accounts called us for product, and we said, no, we're out of them right now. So we sold out of, how quickly did we sell out? 4 months? First batch?
Yeah, about 4 months. Yeah.
So we were waiting, there was about a month period where we didn't have anything.
Yeah.
We walked into our humidor, there were 6 boxes sitting there. It was like, yeah.
The one client wanted to put it in their monthly cigar pack.
Yep.
And they actually called the guy that makes our cigars and was like, listen, we're in the DR. Is there anything we can get?
Yep.
And so he called me up. He's like, what do you think? I said, dude, whatever they need, just let them have it. And so they legit, took the cigars from the factory, no box, bundles, took them back and put them in their packs. And that's how much their clients loved La Dahlia.
So they said, fuck it, we're just going to buy them both.
Whatever, however we can get it, we don't care. We want to put them in the packs and we need them. Okay.
So at that point, it was just unbanded and going out, or
No. It was banded. It was
just
just
ready to go.
Yeah. It
had
was
to
no
be
boxes.
shipped back to the States.
They weren't in boxes. The
Oh.
guy just said, no, just give me them in bundles because we're going to put them in packs. We don't need them in boxes.
It's a thing that happens in this industry a lot of the time where you'll see people coming back from the DR with suitcases. There's no clothes in the suitcases.
You know what's in there.
They get to the counter where you declare anything. They go, yeah, we just under 200 cigars.
And that hits home. It's like
500 cigars sitting in there.
number one, that shop is 110% behind us.
Yes.
And their customers love our cigars. So that means a lot to us.
So you have, obviously you're in the New Jersey market. What other markets are you in?
Pennsylvania and New York.
Yep.
And Puerto Rico. We're in Puerto Rico. Our rep is starting now in Delmarva and PA. Adrian Sardinias will be our rep down in Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania.
Now that we actually have cigars to sell.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we actually stopped selling to new shops because we felt it wouldn't be right if your shop bought our brand and we're opening up all these new accounts, but we don't have cigars now to give you the stuff you need.
Mm-hmm.
So we said, no, stop, no new accounts. We have a little bit left. Let's leave those so we can refill our existing customers that bought in from the start and supported us from the start. We want to make sure they have cigars to sell. Now that we got our new shipment in, now we can start opening up more new accounts.
So for all the veteran smokers, how would you describe this cigar?
Different. That's the best way to put it. You'd agree?
Yeah. So I characterize the 3 sizes. I'm a combat sports guy, right? So boxing being the first combat sport. The Robusto, which is the box that we have on the table, I call the Mike Tyson of the line.
That's the heavy hitter.
Yeah, as soon as that bell goes off, man, it's right up there. It's like bam, bam, bam. The Toro is the Muhammad Ali. It'll dance around. It'll fly like a butterfly, but it stings like a bee. And then the Gorda is the George Foreman of the line. Same thing as Muhammad Ali, just a bigger package. There's no skimping on tobacco. The tobacco that's in the Robusto is in the Toro, is in the Gorda.
In the right proportions.
Yes. There's no fluff tobacco.
Yep.
You know, stuff that they just stick in a 60 ring to make it a 60 ring. It's the same tobacco. And that's why we can truly say that the 60 smokes like the 50, smokes like the Robusto, except the Robusto starts off where you'll eventually get to in the Toro and the Gorda.
Mm-hmm.
It just starts off right off the bat. And the new Edición Limitada 2023,
which is on top of the box right now,
will be coming out, hopefully, you know how things go in the cigar industry. They'll be shipping this Friday, which means we'll get them either Wednesday, Friday, or Monday, depending on how trucking works with the holidays.
Yeah, you got the holidays coming up, so
yeah, so you know,
a lot of packages going out, or a lot of people that don't want to show up to work.
And we'll see if they get held up at customs.
So if anybody that's watching this video is a member of Patriots of the Leaf, they're having their meeting at the Paddock, which is Main Street's members only lounge, on Monday. And there might be a sneak piece, you know, release of the Corona Limitada, maybe, you know.
Just want some. I want to smoke some too.
I understand, but, you know, they might get a sneak peek of something that's going to be coming. Cesar Reyes, the owner of La Unión, who makes our cigars, is down in the DR right now, making sure that everything gets packaged up and gets sent to the shipper and they get over to us. And
what's the normal turnaround for that? Because you mentioned like, oh, if it doesn't get held by customs, you made it sound like it's like a normal thing.
Bro, you have no idea.
Damn,
bro.
Yeah.
Listen,
you ever throw dice on the table, bro?
Yeah. There you go. Listen, that's this industry in a nutshell.
Shit.
Yeah, every
50,
step of the way.
50.
You never know, man. I mean, we've had stuff that we get them in, you know, like they fly through customs. They get in, and the next day they're out. We've had stuff get held up 3 days. I literally had to drive to DHL in Elizabeth to pick up the PBA cigars, which La Unión made for the New Jersey State PBA, because it got held up in the FDA and customs longer than it should have, and it was literally the day of the event. The event started at 6. I got to the place at 2:00 with the shipment from the DR.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What's usually the reason they hold it up? Do they tell you?
Because they're assholes.
They just want to try it for themselves, you know?
Is it just because of tobacco regulation most of the time?
It's, you know,
it's politics.
You never know. I mean, I found out the reason why. I'm not going to,
right.
You know,
disclose it.
Yeah, but let's just say that we switched to a different importer now. So there's a lot of reasons why some people get held up with. Yeah. So now we're dealing with, you know, somebody else that's importing our stuff that imports a lot of stuff for a lot of people. And everything's going smooth so far. One of the things that affects us is when we get a shipment in, it's substantial. So we actually got to get it trucked in, as opposed to, you know, a small shipment that might go UPS. UPS can't, we get stuff by the pallet load now. So it's, you know, it's another layer but the whole thing is, you know, you got to try to plan ahead, you know. So my whole goal was to get this edición limitada before December 1st. I'm on track. We're going to get it. It might be the day before Thanksgiving, might be the day after Thanksgiving, it might be the Monday after Thanksgiving.
Right.
But either way, still before December 1st,
Yep.
we'll be able to get it to people for the holidays, because I'm telling you, once you smoke that cigar, you're going to want it for the holidays. And it's the perfect size, 5.5 by 46 Corona. So it's not a super long smoke. In the Northeast now, the temperature's changing. You know, some people smoke outside, right? So you don't want an hour and a half smoke.
Why the hell do you do that?
Listen, I can't smoke in the house.
Bro, you're like, you know.
Sometimes
half an hour, not even.
I'm 5 minutes from
paddock.
I'm
Come
5
on,
minutes.
man.
But it's also, I got the kids, the wife, and then they're like, "You going over there again?"
Yes.
And I'm like,
Yes,
They make you sit on the cold instead? Oh my god.
Yes, I am.
At least they know I'm home still.
Yeah, I
Okay.
understand.
Alright.
See, when I go out, I could tell the kids where I'm going,
Mm-hmm.
and then they'll still ask their mom, "Where's that? Where is he?"
Oh, that makes sense.
I'm like, "I told you." Like, she's like, "You never told him you were leaving?" I'm like, "I told him I was leaving. I was gonna come back." "Nope. Where are you?" And then sometimes I just sit in the back, and you know, I have the what's it called, pergola
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
outside, and then you got the chairs, and I bring out like a beer or a
Get a little
tequila.
heater thing going, man.
I have a fire pit out back, but I want to get the fans, the heater fans, to mount on top.
Yeah, there's only so much
You know?
a fire pit's going to do in the Northeast, though. Once it gets, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
when
if
I'll be
it's
at the lounge
windy,
more.
forget about it, you know. But yeah, no, I feel you. You know. It's,
Well, I am a
it's
winter
tough.
baby, so.
I was born in March.
Well, I'm a fall baby, but consider.
Yeah, no, I was born in March, but
Yeah, my
with
birthday
Cuban
is
blood
next.
in me.
Fuck
Anything
the
less
cold.
than 80 degrees is.
I was born
You know,
in
cold.
December.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
birthday's next weekend, so.
Hell no. Fuck the cold.
Yeah.
One of the guys that works for me is Dominican. He just came into the country.
Mm-hmm.
The guy's walking around in a t-shirt in the weather we're having right now. I'm like, bro, what the hell is wrong with you?
That's that hot.
You've
butter.
never lived here in the cold. What the hell is wrong with you? He's like, I mean, in my heart, I was born in Alaska. What the fuck are you talking about, you nutcase?
What's wrong with him, man?
Oh, I love the guy. He's nuts.
It's a lot of cigars right
So, well, no, so
That's a daily consumption right there.
so we have our core line, La Dalia,
Yes.
and one of the things that was born of La Dalia was our M67 line.
Yes. I have those at
Which
the
is-
house.
So there's a Connecticut and a Habano, which I'll give to you guys so you can,
Thank you, thank
can
Let's give it to
smoke
me because he
try it.
doesn't smoke.
It's
Oh, we'll
rare
change
I
that.
do.
We'll
Yeah.
change that. Don't worry.
You'll like that though. Yeah,
I try to
So-
keep him to light cigars, just very small, so that he doesn't waste
We'll bring
it.
him in deep end.
yeah. So
Within a month, we're
we
smoking 5 cigars a day.
Breakfast,
we're
lunch,
big supporters of military first responders.
Yeah.
So the M67, if you've been in the military, is a fragmentation grenade. So we kind of like took the name and it just fit the cigar so perfectly. So what the M67 is the premium tobacco that is in La Dalia. When you make a cigar, you have pieces of the original cigar
Yeah.
that when you cut and you know this leaf isn't big enough or whatever, and it
It's almost,
So
it's
it-
almost like the leftovers.
right. So that is what we call a mixed fill cigar with the premium tobacco in La Dalia with a double binder and either a grade Habano or Ecuadorian Connecticut wrapper that makes it smoke like a premium cigar, but at a budget price. So MSRP by the bundle of 10 is $7 a stick. And
Okay.
it is phenomenal. People love that cigar. Nobody that I've ever given that cigar to that I've asked, what do you think that cigar, without the band and without the story, what do you think that cigar should retail for? Nobody has ever said anything less than $12.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a budget cigar that smokes like a premium. And even though it's a mixed fill cigar, it doesn't smoke like a mixed fill cigar. You can get a 3-4 inch ash on that. It's amazing.
So
And I give that to, Caesar at La Union that makes that cigar.
you know how you guys say it's mixed fill. So for all those other people that always say cigars are like cigarettes, what is the difference between? Because cigarettes are really mixed filled as well.
Hold on.
Here we go.
You're talking about two different varietals of tobacco completely. First, you have tobacco for cigars. That is a totally different varietal of plant from the cigarette and pipe tobacco varietals. You're talking about orangutans and chimpanzees.
Right.
So
they're not the same things.
Cigarettes are a nicotine delivery device.
Yes.
The tobacco that is used in cigarettes is what would be considered picadura in the cigar industry. It's whatever amount of leaf you get, they chop it up, they put it through a machine to make it, picadura, like, just
It's
little
like
pieces.
crushed ground,
right?
Almost.
So that is not what M67 is. M67 is, as opposed to a full leaf, you might only get a piece of leaf this big. So it's what we call a mixed filler cigar. So you have bigger pieces, smaller pieces, but you don't have that picadura.
Yeah, picadura is.
Yeah, it's,
that's what they make the third string cigars out of. The garbage that, okay, I want to spend.
Machine made
I want to
cigars
spend the least
are
amount of possible on
picadura.
a cigar.
They get
That's what
they take the leftover cigar, tobacco, they grind it up, make it into little small pieces, they put it together, they put it in a homogenized tube, whatever, that's picadura. This is a mixed fill cigar, so
or basura.
That's
that too. But anyway, instead of a full leaf, you might only get a third of a leaf or half of a leaf. But it's still whatever's left, and it's the same top quality tobacco that's in that, except it's a little different because it's not blended quite the same, but double binder holds it together. Grade A wrapper gives it that flavor, and together it becomes a premium cigar at a budget price.
Yeah.
I challenge everyone to find a brand that puts as much care and effort into their short fill cigars as we do.
Yeah, and it's not short fill, it's mixed fill, but
you know what I meant.
we had a guy, and he's a huge Fuente Opus guy. And he smoked the cigar, and I told him what it was and what the name was. He said, "You messed up on the name." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "You should have called it the Angel Killer." I said, "What do you mean?" He says, "I'll never buy another Angel share again. I'll buy this cigar for a third of the price, and I'll buy 3 of them before I smoke another Angel share."
It's closer to a quarter of the price then.
Oh yeah, but that's how good the Connecticut is. When he said that, I was like, "Wow."
So your cigars come out of Dominican Republic.
Yes.
DR, yes sir.
But where do the leaves come out of?
So the wrapper is Mexican San Andres. The binder on La Daria is Indonesian Sumatra. The filler is all Dominican. The Versalles, which is coming out next year, will be a Ecuadorian Connecticut with Dominican filler. And, that, so I didn't get into our naming, convention, but La Dalia is the name because it's still there actually in Santiago de Cuba, the name of my dad's first shoe store in Cuba.
Oh wow.
So Exile Cigars is born of the fact that my parents had to come to the U.S. to live in exile from Cuba. So that's, everything with our company is kind of like paying homage to, my parents, his grandparents, who came here from Cuba and restarted.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, did the logo, was it born from something? Was it meant, or
So,
did just?
The logo's our family crest.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Yeah, so Exile Cigars is, the Cuban crest with, the other stuff around it, the palm trees, just reminiscent of Cuba and, what Cuba was. So my parents came in 1969 and really went from, a well-off family. They had 3 shoe stores. We're about to open the 4th when the, revolution started. And that's where the names of the cigars come from. La Dalia was the first shoe store. Versalles, which is the name of our Connecticut, which will be coming out next year, is the 2nd shoe store. The 3rd one, don't ask me, I don't know why, but it was called Alaska. And that'll be our 3rd core line, which will probably come out in 2025. And a 4th name that will be coming out, whether it will be 2026 or sooner, is the Parlé. The Parlé, which was the name of the yacht that my parents owned. All the things that were taken away from them. And they weren't allowed to leave a legacy for their children. And obviously my uncles, his brothers were also involved in the business, for my cousins. The legacy got taken away.
This is your way of paying it forward.
This is where our tagline comes in.
Nice.
Building a legacy,
So
one cigar at a time.
Once the 4 core lines that you have named for, does that begin the new generation?
So yeah, that's kind of like the feeling that I had once we, closed that circle with, paying homage to, the past.
Mm-hmm.
Now we move on to the future. And that's a couple of years in the future, but yeah, that's kind of like where we're going.
Okay, so you got the 5-year plan down so far.
More like a 10-year plan.
Yeah, we got a little bit more planned out. Some things we can't talk about yet.
These things take time.
Yep.
But that's what a lot of
it takes 10 years to become an overnight sensation.
A lot of people don't realize that there's obstacles you have to go through, and it's not as easy as you think it is. Just like you said, 500,000. Somebody tells you better come up with more than that. You're like, okay, what am I gonna do now?
Where's your other $500,000? You talk about getting stabbed in the heart. I was like, what? More than $500,000? You want a full million? Like what the?
I'm gonna interject again. What he's not mentioning is, for a few weeks beforehand, I kept telling him, we don't got enough yet. We don't have enough yet.
Yeah.
Did I not?
I mean, at this point, you're building the foundation. Because as the foundation gets bigger and bigger, that money's going to come in, and then you're just going to be closer and closer to your goal of where you want to be down the road.
Yep.
And that starts with your, skinny dip, toe dip. That was you laying down the cement. La Dalia is like putting your bricks down.
Mm-hmm.
Then your next one's going to be like you're setting the door up for people to come in. You get the roof going. So as the brand gets bigger, you're actually building your cigar lounge at the same time.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
So do you guys have like an idea of how you want it to look, or you're like, let's get the foundation going and then we'll...
No, I think we both have it in our head.
Mm.
And the mix between the two is how it's going to be, which is usually what it is. We're like,
I feel like he's like a full like
It's
I
the
want to
best way
go
do
old
it.
school Cuban
Mm,
vibes and
Nah, he has a little bit more of a modernistic touch to that.
Mm.
But pretty much everything when it comes to cigars, we're like yin and yang. We'll fucking butt heads over shit all the time.
Which I
Yeah,
think is
that's-
necessary. Yeah.
Well, we always find the happy medium.
Yeah,
Exactly.
you need, you always need somebody to keep you in check.
Right.
Somebody tell you you're acting.
So he
fucking
keeps me in
stupid.
check. I keep him in check. You
like I
know,
say, you may think one way for a certain group of people, while he thinks another way for another group of people.
Mhm.
How could you both put that together to appease both groups?
We always end up finding a way, or one of us bows down to
Creating a
the
way.
other one.
So
it
what-
happens.
one of the things I learned was that none of us is as smart as all of us.
Yep.
Once you get a group together, you kind of like meld everybody's thoughts and you come up with that golden thing that says, all right, this is a little bit of everybody's thoughts. And that's where you go, because none of us is as smart as all of us.
Yeah.
Everybody's got their opinions, and when you put them all together, you come up with the magic formula.
Although at times we both think we're smarter than all of us, so we gotta pull each other down.
Just
sometimes.
remember,
Hey,
people that think they know it all are especially annoying to those of us that
Uh-oh.
hey, say,
Somebody's got to know it all sooner or later. I mean,
no, listen, we're all way too stupid to ever get to that point. All right.
this
Yeah.
is true. So I'm glad you guys came out. So I'm looking forward to smoking cigar.
Listen, I want to thank you for bringing us here and giving us a little exposure, because, we're one of those little small groups, and, we've made some strides. We've
Nice little
I
profile.
kind of named myself the NFT king, because, on top of our core line cigars and everything else, we have the LFD Golden Andalusian Bull NFT, and now we also have the Tatuaje NFT, which are both doing great. So it's not just
You gotta lock
our
those up, by
cigars.
the way.
You what now?
You gotta lock those up, by the way. Or else I'm gonna smoke them.
Shit.
I'm walking around like, oh look, let me
It's the edge.
smoke another one. Oh my
So,
god.
shameless plug, unicornsmokes.com. You can order our La Dalia. You can order LFD NFT cigars. You can order the Tatuaje NFT cigars. And there'll be some stuff coming out for the holidays on there that hard to find unicorn stuff, which is the whole theory behind unicorn smokes, stuff that you really can't find, like maybe some pinks, some, Hemingway,
Some things.
Sungrowns, and some Hemingway Maduros, and, some Tatuaje stuff from way back when.
Yeah.
Some My Father event only cigars, stuff like that.
So you guys have
Coming
the
out.
Exile Cigar website? Like,
ExileCigars.com is our main website.
Yep.
There's a link there that will bring you to Unicorn Smokes, which is our online, storefront. Because we aren't everywhere, obviously. We're in Pennsylvania in a couple shops. We're in New
Yeah.
York in a couple shops. We're in Jersey in a bunch of shops, and we're growing. But if you're in Colorado and you want La Dalia, how are you going to get it? So you can go to unicornsmokes.com and order them, and we'll ship them out to you.
it's always a great thing because. Do you guys run into any problems with states, like delivering to certain states?
There's a couple states that you cannot ship cigars to.
Okay, because I know, like in when you want to ship beer, like New Jersey is one of those states you
Yeah.
can't ship beer into
Correct.
from out of state.
Yep.
So there are states that you can't.
So let me tell you a little thing that nobody realizes when they order online. And some people run into issues because of this. You're responsible to pay the tobacco tax on the cigars that you're ordering. You order cigars in New Jersey, you're supposed to pay 30% on those cigars that you're ordering.
Technically.
So where do you pay the 30%?
Technically, straight to the New Jersey government.
If on your taxes, when you fill out your taxes, there's a thing on there that if you bought stuff out of the state, not just cigars, but anything, technically, you're supposed to pay tax on it. But, whatever they don't know, we don't know, nobody knows, and it is what
Well,
it
there's
is.
a lot of business out there that take cash only, so.
If you notice, several years ago, not several, but a few years ago, when you used to order cigars from Pennsylvania, they never used to charge sales tax. Now, all of a sudden, you order cigars from Pennsylvania, they charge you sales tax. That was as a result of a Supreme Court decision, it was Wayfair versus the state of Utah. Utah wanted their money from Wayfair. Wayfair said, well, wait, we don't have any stores in Utah, so we don't have to pay your sales tax. So what the Supreme Court decided was, you don't have to have a physical location. Everybody, commerce is different now. So you have a computer in front of you.
Yeah.
And that computer can tie in anywhere. So now every state has a limit. Could be as little as 10,000, could be as much as 100,000. If you ship X amount of dollars into that state, you're responsible to collect their state sales tax. And I foresee the future being that states will sue and say, we want you to collect our tobacco tax too.
Oh, definitely.
That'll be terrible for the consumer.
Yeah.
It'll
be
even
great
up
for them.
No, it'll be terrible for the consumer. It'll even up the ground for brick and mortars in states with high taxes, but
That's exactly why it'll be good for the consumer. Because the consumer doesn't even realize that they're killing the places that they go to smoke. They don't even realize that right now.
this is true. Yeah. I mean,
Think about how many people are just ordering offline
Right.
and they won't go into the brick and mortars.
Yep.
And then they want to go in and smoke when it gets cold out. There's nowhere inside to smoke for them. So they go into that store. You're not supporting the business. The business is suffering. But you want the business to cater to you still.
it'll definitely
They don't
even
realize-
the playing ground.
Yeah.
Right now in the United States, there's 3 states that don't have a tobacco tax. New Hampshire, Pennsylvania, and Florida. And that's where all the big mail order tobacco places are
Mm-hmm.
because there's no tobacco tax.
That makes sense why you guys want to set up in Florida.
That's why we're there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, I mean, all I can say is good luck, guys.
Thank
guys
you.
are
I
making-
appreciate it.
You guys are moving fast.
Yeah.
I mean,
Too fast for our own good sometimes. But
Yeah.
a lot of people don't see the behind the scenes on how long it took you to get here. But once they see you actually at this point, it's like, yo, you guys are like moving up the chain real quick. And it's like, that's why we're here, is because people don't realize that you go through these obstacles, that you think that you have it down, but you have to research sometimes more. You have to dig deeper into it.
we're putting in the work always.
Yeah. So, you got anything else?
No.
Thank you guys for coming out.
No, thank you for having us here, man. We appreciate you.
And if they want to find you guys,
Check out our Instagram, Exile Cigars.
Mm-hmm.
That's where we post most of our stuff. You can
Unicorn
always,
Smokes.
Yeah, Unicorn Smokes for our online store.
I'm sorry. So our unfortunately somebody had the name in Instagram. So it's Smoke Unicorn Smokes
Yep.
on Instagram.
okay.
But unicornsmokes.com, exilecigars.com, either one will bring you, Exile Cigars will bring you to our our homepage, give you all the story about why we were formed, the whole 9 yards. But there's also a link so that you can go to our online Unicorn Smokes and be able to purchase our cigars. But one of the things that we always say is, please, if you live in an area where one of our retailers is nearby,
Yes.
support the retailer.
Always.
If I get an order that's anywhere near a shop in New Jersey, or in PA, or in New York, that we have our product, we'll refund the money and say, please go to, and give them the website or the location of where they should go, because we're a brick and mortar, brand.
Yep.
Support your brick and mortar.
Yeah.
Don't order from me if you live in New Jersey, because there's plenty of places in Jersey
You can
that
find it all over the place in
you
Jersey.
can get.
If you're in a store in Jersey and you don't carry a cigar yet,
Yeah, shame on you.
you don't have your ear to the ground at all. It's as simple as that. But
Yeah. Pennsylvania, different story. We're in only a couple stores, so if you're far away, I get it. I understand, and we want you to have our product. But if you're in the Pittsburgh area, you got to go to Smoking Leaf and Bean in the Strip District, Island Jim's place. In New York, we're in Papa Juan's by Yankee Stadium. We're in Tobacco Plaza out on the island. So if you're in that area, you go there. In New Jersey, we're all over the place. So, outside of those 3 states, I understand why you would order online. And, we're changing that because we now have a rep in the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Pennsylvania area that's going to be, bringing the brand to shops in that area. And once they get established, then buy from them. Don't buy from us.
Right.
We want you to support the brick and mortar because that's the lifeblood of the
And now you guys are having the product stocked for them to be filled.
Yes.
So
we stopped opening up new accounts until we got the product in, and now it's in. So, it's as my man Eric Espinoza would say, balls to the wall.
Also was.
Well, for everybody watching, I would just say, if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, follow, because I hear podcasts coming soon.
It's coming.
it's coming. There's lots of things in the
Big
works.
things.
Lots of things in the works.
So
Moving fast.
This is another episode of Unsolicited Role Models. Role models you may not want, but you may just need. Once again, I'm your boy Big Dave.
Your boy Ali.
And our 2 special guests, Alex and AJ. Thank you guys once again.
Yes.
Thank you, man. Appreciate you.
Hopefully down the road we'll have you back on and you guys will be even bigger.
Absolutely.
Yes, we will.
Thank you.